I want to talk about the future of GPU mining, proof of work versus proof of stake a little bit. A lot of my audience knows that I got started into cryptocurrency through GPU mining and tokenization, specifically on the Ravencoin blockchain. In one of my most recent videos, I laid out some of the issues that chain is having right now with regard to the centralization of the network hash rate. My solution to this is open source mining pools and longer term to build some sort of decentralized treasury on chain like Cardano has. Do you think there's hope for proof of work networks like Ravencoin? Do you think that proof of work will always have its place in crypto, or do you think that proof of stake will ultimately overtake it and make crypto mining obsolete?
I think there will always be a place for proof of work because it's really just a matter of, can you find cheap enough electricity to make it worth mining something? And I think the answer will always be yes. It just might not be in Maine or in Pennsylvania, somewhere else with lower rates than with more competitive electric rates. But like to a degree, some of that comes with like economies of scale and being able to kind of negotiate contracts for large sums of electricity. I don't see why proof of work necessarily has to go away.
Now, gotcha. And that makes sense. I'm in agreement with you on that. I think proof of work will always have its place in crypto. I did want to dive a little bit into proof of work versus proof of stake. What are some distinct differences between the two? And talk to us a little bit about the advantages that both have over one another, because I think they're two distinct things. It's kind of like comparing apples to oranges in some ways. What advantages does proof of work have over proof of stake, and vice versa? What advantages does proof of stake have over proof of work?
So proof of work is secure in that it requires large sums of energy, and it's very hard or impossible to spontaneously not only find large sums of energy, but also ASIC hardware to try and attack the Bitcoin network. So yeah, from that perspective, proof of work has a very strong security framework. It's not susceptible to the same kinds of attacks that proof of stake is. Proof of stake, you have the possibility where there could be nothing at stake, where you have, perfect example actually would be if you look at a lot of the Binance staking pools, like they
Hmm.
have nothing at stake or nearly nothing at stake,
They're
which is
ridiculous.
potentially, yeah, potential signs of civil behavior. So it's really not advantageous in that regard. So you can also there's like long and short range attacks, which is kind of why proof of stake blockchains have checkpointing systems so that there's like a restore points on the blockchain to kind of prevent these kinds of attacks. But on proof of work, this isn't really necessary. You can't kind
Hmm.
of do these kind of long and short range attacks. But on the flip side, proof of stake is much more efficient. It doesn't require large sums of energy and instead requires quantities of tokens instead. Proof of stake, however, is faster. You can send more transactions on it. There's more latency, I think, involved in proof of work blockchains than proof of stake. So in terms of bandwidth, I think proof of stake might have the advantage.
In terms of development of like smart contracts and decentralized applications, is there any distinct advantages that proof of stake would have over proof of work, or is the same level of development able to be attained on a proof of work network, or does it depend on the network?
Well, proof of stake and proof of work has no bearing on the applications that you can build on it.
Hmm.
Like whether Ethereum is proof of work or proof of stake doesn't impact the Ethereum virtual machine really in terms of what apps can run on top of it. Proof of whatever is just how the network has decided to come into agreement or reach consensus upon what transactions are valid and not valid.
Hmm.
So, like in that way, it could be proof of like anything,
Hmm.
and Ethereum could keep chugging away. That doesn't mean it would be as secure per se or as decentralized. Like if it was proof of authority, I probably wouldn't use it anymore. But that doesn't mean that you couldn't use your favorite app on it anymore. Like it would still function. Like it's a good example might be like the Binance Smart Chain. Like
Hmm.
there's only a couple of validators on there, so but you can still run like Ethereum compatible apps on it.
Right, right.
Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, be sure to subscribe for future videos. Remember, if you're interested in anything I'm associated with, everything is in the description below. See you next time.